There she is, Dr. Shelly. Let me see. Fear versus orgasmic energy. You know how I feel about the sacred geometry. It's a beautiful thing. Let me see. Fear versus orgasmic with Dr. Shelley. Dr. Shelley, I'm going to accept your request right now. Let me just pin this comment. Beautiful. Okay. Go live. Can you hear me clear?
Yes, I can hear you.
Dr. Shelley, how are you? It's so good to see you.
So good to see you. I'm wonderful. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I am so excited for you to do your thing. How you feeling today over there? Everything is beautiful.
Oh,
You're in Mexico,
wonderful.
right?
Buzzing with energy.
I love it. I love it. All right, so I'm just gonna just let you do your thing, pass it over, and let you take over from here. As we, I mean, the topic, fear versus orgasmic energy. I'm just excited. So thank you again for your time. And as after you're done, I'll come back in. We'll have questions and we'll do our thing.
Perfect. Sounds good. So, yeah, fear and orgasmic energy. This is such an important topic, and especially right now because we're living in such a fear-based society. Everybody is struggling, thinking about what's going on, what's going to happen, what does the future hold. And when we look at fear, fear is really not real. And we make it so real. We literally take fear and we make it this big thundercloud that's hanging over us, and it makes us feel powerless and helpless. And in so doing, we literally give power to it. And by giving power to it, that takes away our power. We literally create that which we fear. So then when we sit back and we wonder, well, why are we creating this, or why did this shit show up in my life? We have to recognize and take responsibility that it was the actual fear that created it to prove us right. Because as humans, I always have this saying that we would rather be right than be free. So we like to validate our belief systems, we like to validate our fears, we like to validate our limitations to prove ourselves right. And in so doing, that's why the shit shows up, because our fear actually created it. Now, when we look at where does fear come from, we have to really go back into the body, because we wouldn't be here living this physical reality, physical experience without a physical body. So when we look at the body and the energetic systems, and I'm sure a lot of you are aware of the chakras, fear is really based at the root chakra. The root chakra is all about surviving. It's about your health. It's about finances. That is the root of fear. So when you have this fear of, am I going to survive during these times? Am I going to survive financially, physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally? Maybe you're struggling mentally and emotionally with your relationship with your partner because you've never been in the situation where you're on lockdown with them before. So there's so many different circumstances that could be contributing to your fear. And what happens, let's actually look at what happens in the body when you give in to fear. So when you're in fear, your body literally goes into this fight or flight stage. So you're in your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight, and that literally is preparing you for a fight or racing a tiger. So what that does in your body, all of your blood flow leaves your central part of your body, your visceral organs, and it goes to your extremities because you need to run, you need to fly, you need to escape whatever is scary. And what that does is it actually shuts down other parts of your body. Let's say your organs, so you no longer can digest food because that would take away your energy from fighting or flighting. It also shuts down your orgasmic energy because you need blood flow in your genitals to be able to be turned on, to be able to be aroused, and to be able to tap into and awaken this powerful, life-giving orgasmic energy. So when we look at fear versus orgasmic energy, I hope you all chose orgasmic energy because it is the more powerful, more potent energy between fear and orgasmic energy. So fear blocks orgasmic energy. Orgasmic energy also can block fear. But first, we have to get out of fear if we want to take advantage of orgasmic energy to be able to outcreate, to be able to heal our body, to be able to manifest opportunities and possibilities. So getting back to the autonomic nervous system and being in a sympathetic state, what happens at the hormonal level? Now we're in a fight or flight state. We also have to look at our hormones. The stress hormone cortisol increases when you're in that stressed, fearful state. And when your hormone cortisol increases, your sex hormones, androgens, testosterone, those decrease. So they're indirectly related. So when one goes up, the other goes down. So you're literally increasing cortisol, which has a whole list of unwanted effects like weight gain, hormonal problems. It just throws everything out of whack. And then you're decreasing your sex hormones, which leads to a low libido, imbalanced sexual hormones, which can lead to problems in women, endometriosis, cyst, fibroids, PCOS, a whole list of sexual problems related to hormones, thyroid problems as well. So what we have to do is shift that balance, shift that teeter-totter. So we literally have to increase our sex hormones by making our orgasmic energy a priority, by wanting to tap into that more than tapping into fear. So how do we actually do that? How do we make our orgasmic energy a priority so we can boost those sex hormones, so we can shift the teeter-totter so your cortisol drops and your sex hormones increase, and then you reap all of these benefits of orgasmic energy? Now, before I get into the how-to, I want to share a little bit about what is orgasmic energy, because there's a lot of misconception and misidentification around the word orgasmic energy. A lot of people automatically go to, well, that's sex. That's a lot of sex. That's rampant sex. That's having wham, bam, thank you, ma'am sex. But it's not. Orgasmic energy is this life force energy that lives in every cell of your body. It's this magnetic energy that pervades every cell, every organ of your body. Now it becomes alive when you have sex because it lives at your root. It lives at your perineum. And when it's dormant or asleep or not awakened, it's lying there coiled up like a snake. Hence, that's why it's called Kundalini, because when it awakens, it literally moves like a serpent snake through your body, up the back of your spine, and then down the front of your body. So during sex, you get glimpses of this energy. It becomes alive for these fleeting moments when you are aroused, when you're turned on, when you're feeling sexual pleasure, and when you're having an orgasm. But if you don't know what to do with it, if you don't know how to harness it and move it through your body, you're just going to expel it when you have an orgasm. That's why for men, they literally feel drained and tired and exhausted after having sex when they ejaculate. Because every time they ejaculate, they're literally expelling their life force energy, their chi, their sexual energy. So that's why women, a lot of times, your man may just want to roll over and fall asleep or need some food to boost his energy. Whereas when you learn to tap into this energy and move it through your body, you can actually, guys, you can go run a marathon after having sex. You no longer have to abstain from sex to keep your energy. And then for ladies, you don't necessarily lose your energy as much by having orgasms, but your orgasms become so much more powerful, and they help tap you into your creativity. They help turn you on at the cellular level where you're alive. You feel passion in everything you do. You're happy. You exude a confidence. And it takes your orgasms to the next level. So how do we now tap into this orgasmic energy? How do we become aware of it? How do we feel it? And what do we do with it? So think about the last time you had an amazingly juicy, delicious orgasm. Now I want you to imagine pulling that energy from all over the universe, up through your toes, up your entire body, and out the crown of your head. And then ask to pull more. And then keep pulling more. Don't stop. If you think you've reached your capacity for how much orgasmic energy you can Pull more, keep pulling more. And allow your body to get turned on. Allow your body to feel good. Allow your body to feel tingly. And it really requires you to bring your awareness into your body. And that's one of the key points I have to make here. Because if you're choosing fear, you're no longer present. You're in your mind. You're thinking about the what ifs, the worst case scenarios, this fearful idea of what's going to happen. So you're concentrating on that and you're not present anymore. And that's why so many people struggle with depression, anxiety, mood swings, all of these lower vibrational emotional states that we go into when we give power to fear, because it disconnects us from this life force, this life-giving, this potent energy that we have available at our fingertips. So now that you're feeling this energy flow through your body, I want you to start being aware of it every time you take a deep breath in. And again, most people are not conscious when they're breathing. They're unconsciously breathing. So when you take conscious deep breaths in, all the way deep into your belly, can you envision each inhale of oxygen filling up your cells, bringing them full of awareness and aliveness with its sexual energy? Because sexual energy and orgasmic energy is not just there when you have sex. Once you can become aware of it and feeling it, you can awaken it anytime, anywhere. You can awaken it while you're driving, while you're working, while you're doing yoga, while you're meditating. And that's when you can really start taking advantage of the benefits of orgasmic energy, where you can outcreate fear, where you can feel more powerful than fear and you literally crush it. And it's just a choice. A lot of people ask me, well, how do you crush fear when it's so big right there? It's in front of you. It makes you feel like, shit, like, what do I do? So what I want you to do is literally come back to this state, get present in your body, breathe, get turned on, feel this energy, and then go back and look at fear and ask fear, what are you? What is the worst that's going to happen if I give in to you? And really be with that fear. Like, what would it look like if the worst really happened? Would you die? And if you can be with the worst that could possibly happen and you're okay with it, then you no longer have to fear it. You no longer have to resist it. You no longer have to react to it. You can just be with it. And then you can choose to outcreate it. You can choose to go beyond it. You can choose to now use your orgasmic energy to create and manifest opportunities, possibilities, wealth, abundance, whatever it is, a healthy body. Because thousands of years ago, orgasmic energy literally was viewed as the secret. It was the key for the fountain of youth, longevity, vitality, happiness, immortality. Back in about 5,000 to 7,000 years ago, actual Ayurvedic medicine doctors used to prescribe sexual positions to heal your body. Because in my Yoni Egg E-course, I talk a lot about the reflexology points that exist inside of the vagina and for men exist along their penis shaft. And these reflexology points actually correspond with organs of our body. So in certain positions that you're having sex, conscious sex, tantric sex, not the wham bam, thank you ma'am, 3 minutes later you're done kind of sex. In certain positions, you can actually be consciously aware of these points, stimulating them, sending that orgasmic energy throughout your body and actually healing your body. So orgasmic energy can heal your body. Orgasmic energy is creative energy. So if you're feeling stuck financially, if you're feeling like you don't have enough money, you don't know what you're going to do, maybe you're unemployed, maybe you don't know how long this lockdown is going to last, maybe you feel uncertain, when you tap into your orgasmic energy, you can literally transmute that energy into your projects, your passion, your work, into your manifestation routine, so you can actually create and manifest more. And it's like the steroid injection that you need to take your manifestation to that next level. So and a good book that I'll recommend for you is Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. In chapter 11, he talks about sexual transmutation. And literally, sexual energy is creative energy. But what you have to do is get turned on. Go back to the basic exercise that I just gave you. Pull that orgasmic energy up through your body, breathe, become aware of the energy, feel your body get turned on, and then take that energy, transmute it into your creative projects, your work, your passion. And what it does is when you become more turned on, I'll give you a little analogy here. Who would you be more attracted to? Somebody who is going through life very robotic, mundane, complacent. They don't exude a lot of joy and passion and happiness. They're just very doo-doo-doo. Or somebody who is alive and happy and joyful and confident, and they just radiate this energy about them. Who would you be more attracted to? Probably the alive person. So everything is energy. In quantum physics, everything is energy. So fear is energy, and orgasmic energy is energy. Your thoughts, your words, your belief systems, those are energy as well. So energy attracts energy. So when you're radiating and oozing with orgasmic energy, you're actually going to attract more to you. More opportunities. Opportunities are energy. More money. Money is energy. More people, more clients. People are energy. Our bodies are energy. So that is how you're going to actually use your orgasmic energy to attract to you more of what you want. So then when we look at just how to, let's look at relationships, for example. When you embrace this orgasmic energy, you're able to take your relationship to the next level. So if there is fear in your relationship that you don't know if it's going to last, you and your partner are not really on good grounds right now, it's kind of shaky, the more you can turn on your orgasmic energy and stop living in the fear, the more you're actually going to attract your partner to you. For opening up communication, for having better sex, for spending more quality time together. So the list could go on and on and on about all the benefits of tapping into orgasmic energy and choosing it over fear. So I don't know if Cole, do you want to hop back on and maybe we can tap into some questions? I think I saw some questions scrolling up at the bottom from comments from people. Let me check. Do we have any comments here?
That's good. I love it. Amazing.
There you
Amazing.
are.
Yeah. No, I wanted to make sure that everyone's tapped in. You were in the zone. I mean, this is something for me, just studying Tantra and learning Tantra years ago. For me, it just changed my life because I saw just sex in a whole different way. Like, I like to compare it to, like, you having a technology and you not using it to its greatest capacity. You've just been using it, or driving a car that's meant to be used the right way. You just haven't been taught the right way. So but now it's just such a sacredness that comes to it. And when you learn to channel it in the right way, it is creative energy. But I think that the word sex and orgasms, it just takes everybody to the physical aspect of it. But the way that you articulate it is profound. What about
Yeah.
energy vampires during sex? Okay. Jacqueline says, what about energy vampires during sex? That's a big one.
That's a good one because, yeah, there are energy vampires during sex. And that is one of the benefits of Tantra is because our yonis, our vaginas, and our lingams, or our penises, they're actually absorbent sponges. So when you have sex with someone, you literally are blending your soul with them and you're actually picking up on their energies. You can absorb, for example, if a man ejaculates inside of you, guess what? If he's stressed, if he's fucking his tension and stress of his day out of him, that stress and tension is now deposited into your vagina. And that can stay with you for 7 years, if not longer, until you consciously choose to let it go. And that can then lead to chakra blockages. It can lead to physical symptoms. It can lead to weight gain. There's so many things it can lead to when we absorb each other's energy. So that's where Tantra can help you create a more conscious sacred act where both partners are literally conscious going into the sex act and doing it from a place of awareness and presence instead of from checking out and just dumping the deposits of their day into you. Now, for the vampires, that really is being aware of your partner's energy. Do they need energy? Are they lacking energy? And if so, when they're having sex with you, they're going to suck that life force energy out of you. And what you can do to quote unquote protect yourself is basically not have resistance to it. Just naturally flow the energy to them, fill them up so they don't suck it from you. Because when you naturally give, nothing is being taken from you. Because I believe we are infinite beings. We have an infinite amount of energy available to us, and we're not victims. So we can't be a victim to somebody else taking our energy unless no different than giving power to fear. Now, if we hand over and go, okay, fear, here I am with you, like I said, like be with fear. So be with this vampire and go, okay, I see you. I acknowledge you. The moment you acknowledge it, it no longer has power over you.
Mm,
And then the moment you can just not resist it and not react to it and go, okay, you know what? I sense that you need energy. I'm just going to flow energy to you. I'm not giving you my energy. I'm just flowing energy to you. So the same exercise that I had you all do, where you pull that orgasmic energy up through your toes, all the way up through your body and out the crown of your head, you can pull that orgasmic energy down through the crown of your head, down through your body, and into their body. So give them energy. That way they don't take it from you. So then you're not a victim. You don't feel drained or tired after sex. And then also your point of view. Just shifting your point of view and going, okay, I'm not going to create a partner who's going to suck the energy from me. I'm not going to resist somebody who is a vampire. That is actually going to shift our experiences. So we no longer create an experience where we have an energetic vampire sucking our energy, because our point of view
mm.
creates our reality.
Wow. That is profound. Like in the Course of Miracles, they say anything real can't be threatened, and anything unreal doesn't exist. So essentially, you validating it just keeps, that type of energy coming your way.
Mhm.
So it's just better off to let it go. Same way if somebody robbed you and took money from you, you could easily just keep it in your mind like, oh my God, they took money from you. It's like, you know what? That person needed it way more than me. I'll just let it go. So it's like a just constantly
Absolutely.
letting the energy flow, not letting things get stuck in the chakra because that's where it starts to stick and it stops your life force and it's robbing you more than the person. You're getting robbed twice, and it's probably the second time is worse than the
Exactly.
first time.
Exactly. And
Powerful.
that's really what fear does to us. The more we give power to fear, it's robbing us of our ability to step into our full potential, to enjoy life, because we're so concentrated on the fear, we're no longer present. We can't even feel the energy in our body anymore. And think about how many people, like, they got robbed and then that's all they talk about. 20 years later, they're still bringing it up. You know, that one time I got robbed, da 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 da. So every time they bring it up, it gets hardwired more and more into their brain, their body, their nervous system. And that now becomes, it's like an addiction. It's their natural
Yeah.
go-to state.
Mm, that is so true. That is so true. Some people just love the fear. They don't know how to leave it. And that is something I believe where using the orgasmic energy, obviously we're going to tie it to sex, and obviously everybody enjoys sex in those aspects. But when you're able to take it to that next level and use that orgasmic energy with your partner now to start manifesting things that you want to bring into your universe, that is powerful stuff, and that's why it's so important to connect and know that you're aligning with your partners. You guys have the same mindset. Alignment happens where people just like, why am I going in this circle? So it makes an intimacy. You get very intimate with the person, so you want to understand their thoughts. And that's why I think we're in an age where people are seeking alignment more than ever. The old paradigm of relationships aren't really working for us anymore, where you just do your
Mhm.
thing and I do my own thing. When you're seeking more, you want to seek higher vibrations of relationships. And I think, with the work that you're doing and seeing you and Kumar and just the teachings that you teach are so essential during these times. It's powerful. What else do we have here? Learning how to control it. And let's see. How can I tap into my orgasmic energy while practicing celibacy? Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, so it literally is tapping into, you can be celibate, but you can tap into the remembrance of an orgasm. So you can tap into, okay, what does that energy feel like? What does it feel like to be so turned on with passion and aliveness? Because even if women can't have an orgasm, they can still tap into an orgasm, into the orgasmic energy by tapping into
Mm,
like just that juiciness of life. Like if you become so quiet and so present in your body, you can actually feel your body vibrate. You can hear the vibration of your heartbeat, of your blood. That is sexual energy. So
mm,
you don't need sex to be able to tap into it. You just have to become present with your body. And you have to really become aware of every cell. So one of the main ways that I recommend to become so present and intensely aware of your body, it's a tantric exercise. And you guys can do this after watching the video, but just grab a glass of water, take a sip of water your typical everyday way, and then pause, close your eyes, and go within. And bring your awareness into the inside of your mouth. And then tap into all 5 senses. What does it look like inside of your mouth? What does it taste like? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? And what does it feel like? And really be with that energy inside of your mouth. And then take another sip of water. Hold that water in your mouth for 10 seconds and go through those 5 senses again. What is that water in your mouth? What does it look like, taste like, smell like, sound like, and feel like? And then swallow. And you're going to notice the water tastes so much better the second time because you're present with it. It's literally like you're having sex with the water, because sex is no more than gifting and receiving of energy. So when you're present with the water, you're now gifting and receiving of the energy of it. So you're having sex with the water in your mouth. So now that's how you can go through your life, and everything you eat or drink can be an orgasm.
I love it. Sacred, because sex is a sacred energy exchange, and food, water is
Exactly.
probably one of the most sacred things that we harness in our body. I mean, it makes up 75% minimum of our body. So when you're able to basically make it a meditation, make life a
Mm-hmm.
meditation, fully immerse yourself in the present moment. So essentially, I believe that's why in Tantra there's a lot of teaching of just the meditation, understanding the energy and feeling your own energy rise up within yourself, because it is a feminine and masculine energy that we all harness within each other, but it's about learning to find that. And I think Tantra is just I know Tantra is actually a tool that's used so that you can awaken that and find that reflection of yourself in a partner that's able to help you maintain it. But that is profound. I love that whole water aspect in it because it's so true.
It,
People don't think of it, but it's
it
sacred. Water
is.
is so sacred.
Well, and like you said at the beginning, you were talking about sacred geometry. And if we look at Dr. Emoto's work on the water crystals, just by shifting
Mm,
your own vibration, once water comes in contact with your body, you're now shifting the vibration of the water that you're putting into your body, which can now heal your body because you're infusing it with presence and awareness. So if we can be that with everything we put into our body, that completely eliminates this point of view that, well, if I eat this, this is bad. We have the
yeah.
power to change it. Or there's chemicals in the water. We have the power to change it just by being present with it.
Mm. I said it was an exercise where I actually started understanding like that's why we could raise the vibration of your water just by speaking to
Yeah,
your water, just holding your water, setting those intentions to your water, building a relationship with your water. Someone would think you were cuckoo, but this is why, ancestrally growing up, we prayed over our food, because you pray over
mm-hmm.
the food, it literally raises the vibration of the food, and it does something because you set greater intentions, and that's just how powerful we are as human beings. I love to call us the God technology. We are the God technology. By putting your hand
Yeah,
on someone, you can heal something, and with that much love and care,
absolutely.
it's profound what can be done. Oh man,
Absolutely.
Shelly, I cannot wait for the retreat, because I know that just by looking at the topics that you put on your on your flyer, yes, I can't wait.
I,
Sign me up. Where do I get my ticket?
I know, I'm so excited.
Oh man. What else we got? Any other questions? Let me see if I missed anything over the top. What about any questions with that? What about releasing soul ties? That's a good one too. Releasing soul ties.
Yes. So the more we can become conscious and aware of our past connections, whether it's in this lifetime or past lifetimes, all it is, it's in an energetic tie. So if we can just become conscious and aware and choose to cut the cord, cut the tie, and not allow it to affect us anymore, and just by stating something out loud, doing a meditation, doing a ritual, even while you're masturbating, because you're tapping into the orgasmic energy while, let's say, you're masturbating, you're getting turned on. And when you get close to having an orgasm, your mind actually has to shut down. The prefrontal cortex of your brain literally shuts down for you to have an orgasm, for you to really feel sexual pleasure. And that part of your brain regulates control, fear, anxiety, our daily to-do list, the judgment, the fears. It regulates all of that bullshit, basically. So that stuff has to go aside for your brain and your mind to shut down, for you to feel sexual pleasure, for you to really be turned on and have this orgasm. And when that shifts, when it happens, your brain waves change state and tap into this deep meditative state where you're connected with the divine, you're connected to your higher source. And that is the best state from which you can manifest from, you can cut soul ties, you can make demands or statements that will affect your body, your energy, and your being. So for example, I have a little ritual that I do after I, let's say, have an orgasm, is I will just make statements like, okay, I'm choosing to let go of this. And if I can do it in the shower as well. I'm washing away any connections from past lifetimes, past lovers, past souls that I was with. Now, there are other practices that I do teach with a yoni egg for women. And if anybody doesn't know what a yoni egg is, it's a stone egg that women can use inside of their vagina to strengthen their pelvic floor muscles and to help awaken their sexual center and awaken their orgasmic energy. And the yoni egg, what it does is it actually massages all of those reflexology points inside of the vagina, but it also it gives like a conscious massage. So what we have inside of our bodies, we have armoring from any past relationship, any judgment, fear, belief system, inhibition, any past experience that wasn't wanted or wasn't positive. We store that in our body, and our body goes into a protection mechanism, and it literally is called armoring, where your cells harden to protect you from any future damage or any future, let's say, unwanted experience, whether it's sexual abuse or rape. So what happens is whether you do it yourself with your fingers, you can just do a conscious massage with all the presence in your fingertips. You could use a yoni egg, or you can actually have a partner do it for you. And that is actually going to help de-armor your cells to get rid of any past connections, soul ties, unwanted energy, tension or stress that's been deposited into you that you're holding on to still. And the amount of change that can come from that, it's incredible what our bodies hold on to. I've had women who, after taking the yoni egg out, it's covered in black gunk because they're letting go of so much. And they're like, oh my God. And it smells for a couple of weeks. And then it becomes like, they go over the hump and they're like, oh my God, my yoni egg now smells like flowers. It smells amazing. What a change. It's because our bodies are letting go. And that armoring process actually desensitizes us. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in the retreat, how we can heal this brain-vagina disconnect, the armoring that we've allowed to occur in ourselves so we can actually de-armor ourselves so we can actually feel more.
That is so powerful. And I think what I love is that you speak about the masturbation, because I believe that the stigma in society is masturbation as this terrible thing, but it could actually be used if it's used, once again, with a sacred aspect towards it, an intention. Obviously, I'm a male, so I can only speak about that. But I tell a lot of men, teach the semen retention, how important it is. And it's not about just saying stopping the masturbation, it's just cutting down the ejaculation, because you can still tap into the orgasmic energy without the ejaculation. The ejaculation is separate from the orgasm. It's just, people think of it as being connected, but it's once you, it's the point of no return, the oh my God, and then the ejaculation happens. But when you're able to tap into that and use it for a purpose of, creation or just playing with your energy, it's something that can still be done. So what I guess my question is, for someone that's not as comfortable with touching themselves, how do they get to that place of comfortability to learn to build that relationship where they're comfortable just with their own body?
And they don't have to touch themselves sexually. They can give their breasts a massage. They can get a feather and lightly caress the feather over their entire body. So there are other ways that you can quote unquote masturbate or give self-pleasure that doesn't necessarily involve touching your vagina or jerking off, as men like to call it. But like you were saying there, you can view, no different than we can take the wham bam sex and now have tantric sex. We can take the quick old masturbation just to jerk off and get off and be done, and we can turn it into a tantric act where it's a self-love practice, where you're breathing and you're present and you're able to tap into moving your energy and tap into those higher conscious level orgasms that connect you
Mm,
to the divine, that help you manifest. So yeah, we don't need to practice celibacy to be able to, that's, I said it in a video the other day, we've got these two ends of the spectrum. When we
mm,
have points of views that, let's say, sex is a sin or sex is taboo, we go to the one spectrum where we completely shut it off. And in doing so, we actually disconnect from our orgasmic energy. And then we have the other spectrum where people are having rampant sex, wham bam, thank you, man sex, drunk sex. They're addicted to porn. They need fantasies in porn to be able to get an erection or to be able to have an orgasm. So we've gone too far. We need to come back and have a healthy balance with our sexuality, but we need to retrain ourselves in how we do sex. It needs to become
mm,
more tantric, where we need to have more presence.
mm. That is so powerful because we're just in the time frame. Everybody wants everything so quick and fast and immediately, and it's like we're in a microwave era, and it's like no, there's so much more to getting to it. The foreplay and aspects of it, just the communication, the intimacy, is what that's So I want to speak about trust. How important is trust? One with yourself, but also with the partner, in allowing you to tap into this orgasm. Because I believe if you don't trust your partner, it's really not.
Mhm.
It's really not easy to get to that orgasmic state and tap into that energy.
No, and that's one of the reasons that a lot of women struggle feeling pleasure or getting into that orgasmic state is because there isn't trust there.
Mm,
And trust is such a multi-layered aspect. But if we go back to the basics, do people even trust themselves? And we really have to
mm,
look at this concept of fear versus orgasmic energy. Do people trust that they're going to create something that doesn't match this fear? Do
mm,
people believe they create their realities? Do you actually trust that you're going to create something amazing? So a powerful question, anytime fear shows up in my reality, I always go back to, why would I even create that? Like, I
mm,
trust that I'm going to create something so amazing. Why would I even create that? And it's like, boom, I just killed the fear. So that is self-trust, knowing that this is my life, my living, my reality. I'm not even going to create that. That's not even in my DNA code to have as a physical reality. So
mm,
that is one level of trust. And then we have a second level of trust where, do we trust ourselves and who we are? For example,
mm,
if I'm always late, but I tell you, Cole, okay, I'll be there at 1 o'clock, and I'm trusting, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do it. It's blind trust. And it goes for myself, and then it goes for my partner as well. And then I show up at 1:10 instead of trusting and be like, you know what, Cole, I'm actually going to be 10 minutes late because I'm always late. That's me trusting that I'm always late. And it's no different than a partner. If you know your
right.
partner is, let's say, always going to leave the toilet seat up, can you trust that, okay, you know what, he's always going to leave it up, instead of having blind faith in him that, okay, you know what, he told me he's going to change, I'm going to hope he changes, and then when he does it again, you get upset. So those are like little analogies of how we can look at how layered trust is. But then when it comes into the bedroom, for example, can you hand over your body to a partner and give
Mm,
all of your trust to them and be like, okay, do with my body whatever you desire?
mm,
Can you have that level of trust with a partner or even with a tantra facilitator? Because in my tantra sessions, that's what I demand of my clients. Okay, you're showing up, you're going to lay down. Can you hand over your body? Do I have
mm.
any, like, what do you call it? Kind of like the
Limitations.
limits, basically. Like, are there
Yeah.
any limits? Are there any barriers? If so, I need to know those. And if they don't communicate that and then it shows up, it's like, okay, well, where did you not trust? And really, it's not trusting you. It all goes
Mm,
back to your relationship with you. But yeah, in relationships, most people can't, and that's one of the beautiful things. It's one of the things that I looked for in a partner, and that's why I was doing a lot of sex before I met my now husband Kumar. What I was looking for is a man I could trust. I was looking for that dominant alpha male that I could just trust and relax my barriers and surrender and finally step into my femininity, because I was so masculine before. I thought I had to do it all and be it all, and I was go, go, go and in the gym all the time. So I was so deeply rooted in the masculine world, but really what I was wanting was that strong alpha male who I can trust. He's going to
mm,
be an anchor. I'm going to push, I'm going to test him, I'm going to challenge him, He's going to be there and go, there's the door. And he's told me that many times at the beginning of the relationship for me to finally go, okay, I trust him. No matter what I push at him, whatever I throw at him, he's not moving. He's there. So that allowed me to go, I let down my barriers and I can hand over my body and totally trust him to do whatever it is he wants with it. And I mean, it goes to the point of me losing total control of my body where I'm having these out of body orgasms for 3 hours on end. I can't even walk afterwards. I've, you know,
Yeah. That's it.
yeah, we're
That's
just like, I can't
it.
even talk.
Talk
It's
about it.
better
Talk
than
about
any drug.
it. I love it. I want. I do. We touched on something big because, especially with women, we're in a world where women are, they've taken a lot of masculine ways because they've had to fend for themselves and take care of themselves. Speak about just where you were beforehand, like more on that masculine way of thinking, because I see a lot of females that, they have the mindset, I don't need a man, we don't need this, or I don't need it. We all need somebody to be able to do that. So speak about how you and how important that was for you to make that change and how it's help you flourish even more.
Yeah, so I grew up kind of always living in the gym. I started working out at 13 and I was a daddy's girl. So my dad always put in my head, career first, boy last, so that is what I went for. And I started competing in fitness competitions at 18 to 21. So, I mean, I lived in the gym. I was like a guy's girl. I was always hanging out with the boys. So I became very masculine. I put my career first. I graduated chiropractic school at 23 because I knew what I wanted to do. So I was just go, 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 go. And then getting into the real world, opening up my chiropractic office, it was okay, I have to open an office and open a business the way a man does it. You have to do, and go, 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 and to be productive. So I got so caught up in that world that I hit this burnout phase. So I sold everything after 2 years of practice. And I'm like, okay, what do I really want to do? And it was just overwhelming because I really wanted to teach my consciousness workshops that I was teaching at the time, but I couldn't do it by having a practice. I couldn't do everything. There was just too much on my plate. So I sold everything in Arizona and I just went and traveled the world. And then when I came back is actually when I met my husband. And what I was looking for is just not stability, not somebody to take care of me. I was looking for somebody who enjoys being masculine, who enjoys being in that alpha male state, taking control most of the time, so I can actually relax and be in my feminine state, so I can flow instead of force. Because I was caught up forcing things into existence, which was going against my natural way. And that's why I kept
Mm,
feeling burned out and exhausted and tired. Like
yeah.
I'm spinning my wheels and I'm not getting anywhere. Why am I not getting anywhere? And it's because I was really disconnected from my feminine energy. So when he showed up and he was able to be this strong masculine energy, it was like, okay, I don't have to take care of all of that other stuff that I don't like taking care of. He's going to take care of the majority of the decisions, but we're still both financially contributing partners. We're very equal in a lot of respects. I don't feel that I had to become submissive because that's one of the misidentifications. Women feel like to be feminine, they have to be submissive in a relationship. They have to fit into that gender role of cooking, cleaning, da 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 da, taking care of the man. Now, in regards to that, we both cook, we both clean, we both do laundry. He buys most of my outfits and clothes for me. So if anything, he's more connected to he's more metrosexual, as I say. Like he can
Yeah.
tap into that feminine energy. He decorated the house when we first got together, and I'm like, this is exactly my style. Where did you come from?
Amazing.
So in my business world, I still sometimes tap into that masculine energy, but when I get home, it's an automatic shift back into my feminine energy. And I'm not saying that I repel the gender roles. I love being able to cook for him, clean for him. I love being able to
Hmm.
spoil him because as a partner, we both should love to do that. So if we have resistance to,
Hmm.
well, if I'm feminine, I have to be submissive and take care of him. Well, don't you want to take care of your partner? It's not really the gender role that's
Right.
causing you to do that. You should want to anyway. So
Right.
yeah, and now in
Right.
my femininity, like that's where my creativity comes from. Now things flow into my existence instead of me having to force them into existence.
Mm, I love that. We touched it into it. Shayna has a question about homosexual relationships. I think I'm just writing off of what you were saying about the just the aspect of taking care of your partner. I think that's a like understanding. We all came from a mother and a father. We all contain the masculine and feminine energy within each other. So giving and taking care of people is a thing that we enjoy to do. I love to serve, love to serve somebody,
Absolutely.
even just a food or a drink, and just see them like, oh my God, this is delicious. It's a different type of rewarding type of feeling than just receiving. It's always a great a reciprocity. But let's touch on Shayna's question about homosexual relationships where the masculine and feminine energy might be split between both partners.
Yeah,
Have you
and
worked
that
with a
again,
homosexual partner? Yeah.
yeah, we all have masculine and feminine energy in us. So usually in a homosexual relationship, again, I'm going to come back to the saying opposites attract. It's not opposite interests. It's not you like football, I like basketball. It's the opposite energies that attract. So in a relationship, for there to be chemistry, for there to be that sexual attraction, physical attraction, mental attraction, it's the opposite energies of masculine and feminine. And I've worked with a lot of
Mm,
lesbian couples who they do have one partner who's more masculine, who's more of the analytical, logical, go, 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 more in control, making the decisions. And then one partner is usually a little bit more feminine, more flowing, more creative, more intuitive, more of an empath. So there has to be that masculine and feminine dynamic to create the attraction. Now, when I talk about couples falling into roommate syndrome, it's usually and oftentimes in relationships where both partners are trying to fight for the masculine alpha role, you're literally repelling one another. So you become roommates, you lost the attraction. And I've worked with a lot of couples, whether they're homosexual couples or even straight couples, who both partners are fighting for that dominant role. No, I want to be in control. I want to be in charge. And you're going to just end up in fights because it's like a battery. You need positive and negative to attract. If you have two negative ends, now you're going to repel one another.
gonna work. It's powerful. I use that example the other day, just how we are, just like that. The negative. It's a polarity, and I think
It's a polarity. Yeah.
that's what causes the confusion is the labels.
Mm-hmm.
A man and a female. Masculine, feminine. Because everybody has like a hardwired, constructive view of what it is, but it's all about polarity and finding that the opposites do attract, and you see it. I have an aunt and uncle. The aunt is more masculine than him, and he's more feminine. But it's
Yeah.
just they work well together. It's not gonna form in that way. Dr. Shelley,
Exactly.
this is incredible, amazing, great appreciation. Thank you so much to everybody. I see so many hearts. I've never seen so many hearts just flying up. This is stuff that people need to understand. I think
Mm-hmm.
understanding sex, especially in this Western world that we grew up in. I grew up Catholic, so growing up seeing priests that are totally cut off. I never understood the aspect of like, so they don't get married, so they don't. And I'm like, how could you cut off all of that energy? And then you see it manifest in, the pedophilia and things of those natures. But I think it's just something that we need. It's naturally, we all came from sex. We would not be here without sex. And that is an orgasmic energy
Amen.
that allows that soul to come into us. So if you don't know how to tap into that, it can be used to create life and through the lower chakras, or you can create with your mind. And that's how we got here. That's exactly how Zencations was created, was really just a pure divine, thought. And it was like, yes, we have to bring people in, and we're attracting amazing people like yourself. So thank you so much. This was amazing, so much information. It's just, just hearing you speak about it because, you know, so much, especially for the divine feminine, to hear it from somebody from your aspect that's live it, that's so successful. Your
Mm-hmm.
resume spoke for itself, and you still hit that wall where you're like, there's more. I wasn't feeling
Yeah.
satisfied. And when you were able to find that, life just continues to evolve. And just
And that's why
congratulations for you just being able to get past it.
And that's why I
Yeah, go ahead.
created you guys as Vacation Retreat. You were a manifestation of mine through my orgasmic energy. So thank you for that. I'm so happy to be here and a part of this amazing tribe.
I love it. I love it. I'm getting chills coming down through my crown. It's incredible. That's the energy. We love it. We love it. We
I
appreciate
love
you.
it.
Yes, I saw somebody ask if we're going to record it. Yes, it'll be recorded. We'll pull it down. This is content that we need to put out into the universe. Anything
Yeah.
else, Dr. Shelley? Where can people find you?
Here on Instagram, Dr. Shelly Prasad. I have Facebook groups as well. I have a Turned On Unapologetic Woman Tribe, and then I have a Facebook group for men too, The Evolved Man. And then across all social media channels, Dr. Shelly Prasad. And then in May, my husband and I will be doing a relationship Instagram live with you. And then, of course, join us in the virtual retreat. We'll be talking more about, like I said, the brain vagina disconnect, manifesting with orgasmic energy, infusing your relationship with Tantra, and the art of communication.
I love it. I love it. It's gonna be, oh man, when I saw the lineup and I just saw the topics, I was like, oh, this is it. This is the information
Yay!
people need. So this was really truly a blessing in disguise, this whole, this whole COVID thing, but it ended up working out. Like we're giving so much information that is necessary during these times. And I believe that as we transition out of it, people will be equipped with just so much enlightening information and energy. So thank you again for your time. Please, everybody else, the 14th to the 18th, we are having our virtual retreat. Please click a link. You can find any one of our tribe members. We all have our links up there. It's going to be monumental. Dr. Shelly, again, thank you so much.
Cool.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
you. Well, everyone, thank you for being here and showing up. Have a beautiful day.
Yes, yes, and we're here every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So we'll have another one on this Friday, and we look forward to seeing you all. My love and light is with you all. Have a phenomenal day. Dr. Shelly, we will speak soon.
Speak soon. Mwah.